Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another YouTube video on Mikey Loves Weather's YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the weather analysis from the European model run for Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Before we start diving into this forecast, I would like to ask that you please subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also be sure to share this with your friends, family, and social media so you guys don't miss out on future uploads. With that being said, let's dive straight into this video. So let's start out with 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. We got a little high-pressure system, 1,029 millibars. That's over northern Wisconsin, and that's pretty much bringing some light snow showers to portions of the Appalachian Mountains, some portions of the Ohio Valley, some parts of the Midwest, and some parts of the Northeast. And then we got some light showers going on for some parts of southern South Carolina, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, southern Louisiana, maybe some parts of southern Louisiana. And then we got some light snow showers going on for northern Nebraska. And then we got some precipitation happening over portions of the Rockies, the Sierra Nevada, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and northwestern Wyoming. And then we got some light showery activity going on for northwest Florida. And then let's take you to 7 o'clock in the morning. We still got that high-pressure system, 1,029 millibars, over northern Wisconsin. And then we still got some light snow showers going on for some parts of eastern Ohio, some parts of Michigan, western and northern Pennsylvania, some parts of New York State, New England, Maine, and some parts of the Appalachian Mountains. And then we got some light showery activity going on for parts of southeastern Alabama, northern Florida, and southwest Georgia. And then we still got some wintry activity going on for portions of the Rockies. And then if we zoom in further, that's a 1,029 millibar high pressure that's located over Idaho. Then we got some light snow showers going on for western Wyoming. Some light precipitation going on for Nevada. Some parts of northern and central California. Northern Arizona. Some parts of northern New Mexico. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for 7 a.m. Let's take you to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. We got a high-pressure system over eastern Wisconsin. That's at 1,029 millibars. And then we got some light precipitation over portions of Iowa, Illinois, eastern Ohio. And then we got some light snow showers going on for parts of western and northern Pennsylvania. Some parts of New York State, northern Vermont, and maybe some parts of southeast Massachusetts. And then we got some scattered showers going on for parts of Florida. Some wintry activity going on for parts of southern Wyoming, Colorado, some parts of Utah, Nevada, some northern and central parts of California, and a 1,030 millibar high pressure over Idaho and Montana. And then let's take you to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got some scattered areas of wintry precipitation going on for portions of the Rockies, Nevada, California, northern Arizona, and northern New Mexico, And then we got some light rain showers going on for some parts of central Illinois. Maybe a light snow shower over portions of northwest Pennsylvania. And then we got quiet activity going on for pretty much the eastern half of the country. Then maybe some showery activity could get into some parts of northwest Washington out of a system coming from offshore of the Pacific. Well, actually, on the Pacific. Because as you can see, we got some rain and snow going on for British Columbia. And that's pretty much the weather system that might bring some light precipitation for northwest Washington. And then maybe some rain showers possible over some parts of Nebraska. And then if you take a look at the east, pretty much cold air going on. And then we got some warmer air going on for pretty much the central, western, and southern parts of the country, with some rain showers going on for some parts of southern Texas, southern Louisiana, and basically central Florida, like Orlando area. And then let's take a look at your temperatures in Fahrenheit. Let's take you 12 hours behind. Wait, actually, 18 hours. Okay, so here's 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. We got the coldest temperatures going on for northern Quebec and maybe some parts of Newfoundland, with a minimum temperature of minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, as you can see, we got some temperatures as high as about 83 degrees, maybe over some portions of Mexico state. Oh, sorry, Mexico, the country of Mexico. I don't know why I said state. If you can zoom into the east, I'll show you more in depth. So for portions of the Midwest, we got some single digits. And then for much of the Midwest, you're pretty much in the 20s and teens. Maybe some 30s for some parts of Iowa and some parts of Missouri and Illinois. And then once you get into the Northeast, you're stuck in the 20s and teens for the most part, with maybe some areas closer to the coast hanging around 30s. And then once you go into the Southeast, the northern part of the Southeast, you're stuck in the 20s, 30s. And then once you're in North Carolina, you got some 40s going on. And then the North Carolina mountains, we got some 20s and 30s. And then for the coast, we pretty much got 30s and 40s. And then for South Carolina, we got some 30s, 40s, and even temperatures higher than 50 degrees for southern South Carolina. And then if you take a look at northern Georgia, we got some 30s up in the mountains, then 40s, 50s, closer to 60 degrees in the southern parts. And then for Florida, we got some 60s, 50s, maybe some 70s further south. And then pretty much for the Gulf states, we got some mostly 40s, upper 30s, 50s, and lower to maybe mid-60s. And then if we take you to the deep south, actually, not the deep south, let's see. If we take a look, let's say Southwest. We got 60s going on for Arizona in the lower elevations. In the higher elevations, we got 40s and 30s. And then for California, you're getting colder. But pretty much if you're away from Southern California, with the 60s over there. Then if you take a look at the Eastern California mountains, we got some 12-degree temperatures, 14 degrees. And then, for the most part, in California, we got some upper 40s, 50s, maybe some mid-40s. And then if you go into Northern California, you got closer to 50 along the coast. And then further inland, we got 40s and 30s. And then if you take a look at the West, if you're in Washington, you got 30s, 20s, maybe some teens in the coldest elevations. And then we got maybe close to 50 near the coast. And then if you take a look at the Rockies, we got 20s to 30s and teens over the higher elevations. And then for the lower elevations, we got 30s, 40s. And then if you take a look at Texas, we got lower 40s in the northern part of the state. And then we got mid to upper 60s, maybe closer to 70 in the southern part of the state. And if we take a look at the continental U.S., let's go to 7 a.m. We got a minimum temperature of minus 33 degrees Fahrenheit. That's taking place over northern Quebec and Newfoundland. And then we got single digits and maybe even some negative single digits over some parts of the upper Midwest. And then if you're in the reds, you're in the teens, closer to 20. And then if you're in the lighter colors, but not yet blue, you're in the 30s and 40s range. And then if you're in the darker blues, you're in the 50s. And then if you're in the yellow and oranges, you're in the 60s and 70s. Then we got a maximum temperature of 82 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably taking place over some parts of Mexico. And then let's take a look at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We got a minimum temperature of minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's taking place over pretty much northern Quebec. Maybe some of northern Newfoundland. And then for the northeast part of the country, pretty much 20s, teens. Then we maybe even see some 30s popping in some of the Midwest. Excuse me. And then if you're in the blue colors, you're probably in the 40s to 50s. And then if you're in the purple colors, you're right near... Well, if you're in the purple colors, closer to the yellow colors, you are in the 50s to closer to 60. And then if you're in the orange to yellow colors, you're in the 60s and 70s. And then if you're in the darker reds, you're pretty much in the 80s. Close, maybe closer to 90. And then we got a maximum temperature of 97 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably taking place over some parts of Mexico. And then if we take you to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got a maximum temperature of 97 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably taking place over some parts of Mexico. And then the Northeast gets cold again. Midwest. And then the Southeast gets warmer and mild. Southern parts of the U.S. gets the warm air. And then it's obviously, if you're in the higher elevations, you're obviously going to be colder. Because the mountains are higher in altitude. And then we got a minimum temperature of minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably taking place over some parts of northern Quebec. Maybe some of northern Newfoundland. Then if I'm going to take you to the wind. Surface wind. $18 hours ahead. That's 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Maximum wind speeds are right around 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's obviously taking place over the coast. And then look at the East Coast. Then maybe some of the Rockies could get some 10 milliliter wind speed of right around 20 miles per hour. And it's obviously going to be windy closer to the lakes. Let's take you to 7 a.m. The maximum wind speeds are 37 miles per hour. That's likely taking place over the East Coast. And then obviously it's going to be windy closer to the lakes, in the Great Lakes. And in the East Coast, maybe a little bit of the West Coast. Then let's take you to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. And then we got maximum wind speeds of 35 miles per hour. That's over the Atlantic Ocean. And maybe some parts of the Delmarva could get in on some of the wind coming from that stronger wind barb. And then blues pretty much mean you're in the calm wind area. Or calmer. And then if you're in the whites and grays, you're likely in the calm wind speed. And then let's take you to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got maximum wind speeds of 32 miles per hour. That's taking place over the Atlantic Ocean. And then maybe some parts of the West Coast could get in on some of the greens, which is right around 22 miles per hour. And then if I want... Wait, what happened? Let's see. Wind speed. No, I don't want knots. What happened? Hang on, guys. Bear with me. What happened? Oh, because I'm in New Zealand. Oops, my bad. Maybe I might have fat fingered something. Oh, right here. Yeah, basically 32 miles per hour maximum wind speeds over the East Coast. Basically in the Atlantic Ocean. And if I zoom in into the Northeast, yeah, maybe some of the parts of the East Coast, like Massachusetts, maybe a little bit of New Jersey, and the Delmarva could get in on some of the greener colors, which is 20 to 22 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's wrap up the video right there. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to leave them down below, and I will do my best to answer within 24 hours. Be sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media, because we try to upload every single day as much as possible. And one more disclaimer. All the times that I'm discussing on this video, they're in Eastern time zone. So, wherever you are, like say if you're in the Midwest, or if you're in the Central, or actually mountains, and the Pacific, then you just subtract, like say if you're in the Midwest, you would subtract 1 hour from the East Coast, and then if you're in the mountains, you would subtract 2 hours, and then if you're in the Pacific, you subtract 3 hours. So all time zones, like all the times that I discuss, they're in Eastern time. Alrighty? So, oh, and then be sure to leave a like on this video. It'll mean a lot. And be sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.